to the 4th edition of Sustainable Apparel Forum 2023. Honorable participants, before I move on to the formal proceedings, I would like to make some announcements. Green Growth exhibition is being organized concurrently outside the Grand Ballroom. 12 frontline companies in sustainability field are participating at the event. The names are YKK, Recover Fiber, Reverse Resources, Vision Spring, Smartex AI, AgroShift Technologies Limited, Eurofins, Department of Inspection for Factories and Establishment, Merchant Bay, Green Bud, Shahjalal Poly Industries Limited, Mutual Trust Bank Limited. You're all invited to visit the exhibition at any time of your convenience. Valued participants, free Wi-Fi facilities has been organized for you at the venue. You can use the Wi-Fi using username SAF2023 and password is the same as well, SAF2023. Please scan the QR code on the tent card on your table to download e-brochure of this conference or the program agenda. During some of the plenary sessions, we will be conducting audience poll on issues relating to the sustainability industry. We request you to participate at the polls. Please scan the QR code on the back side of the identity card given to you at the registration desk and participate at the polls questions of the session. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 4th edition of Sustainable Apparel Forum 2023. With better knowledge, understanding, and collaboration, sustainability-focused initiatives will create new opportunities, resolve the image crisis of the fashion industry, and potentially save the world from further environmental hazard. As the second largest apparel exporter, Bangladesh must play a significant role in the ongoing sustainability movement. From such a background, Bangladesh Apparel Exchange has organized the 4th edition of Sustainable Apparel Forum to highlight the pressing issues. The 4th edition of Sustainable Apparel Forum is organized by Bangladesh Apparel Exchange in collaboration with Lawless Foundation. This event itself is a testimony of our concerted effort to find solutions to get more sustainable both socially, economically, and of course, environmentally. Congratulations to all of you present here today as you have now become a part of our initiative to promote the sustainability agenda within the apparel industry. Thanks to Lawless Foundation, and thanks to our valued title sponsor, KDS Group, Platinum sponsors, PDS Limited, Gold sponsors, Epic Group and Noise Jeans, Silver sponsors, Better Work Bangladesh International Labour Organization, Bronze sponsors, WaterAid, Good Fashion Fund, Oxfam in Bangladesh, and Eastern Bank Limited for partnering with us. Your valued support has made this initiative possible. We're also offering our heartfelt gratitude to our contributors, Ministry of Commerce, Government of the People's Republic of Bangladesh, Ministry of Power, Energy and Mineral Resources, Government of the People's Republic of Bangladesh, Dhaka North City Corporation, U.S. Embassy in Bangladesh, Delegation of the European Union in Bangladesh, Embassy of Denmark in Bangladesh, Embassy of Sweden in Bangladesh, USAID, United Nations Industrial Development Organization, Bangladesh Garments Manufacturers and Exporters Association, Bangladesh Knitwear Manufacturers and Exporters Association, Bangladesh Textile Mills Association, Sustainable Apparel Coalition, International Center for Climate Change and Development, Infrastructure Development Company Limited, Deutsche Gesellschaft für International Zusammenarbeit, GmbH, Apparel Impact Institute, Social and Labor Convergence, Global Labor Institute, Cornell University, USA, Fashion for Good, NVU, Circle Economy, Spinova, Bestseller, Standard Chartered Bangladesh, and Sourcing Journal. Thank you once again for being a part of this initiative. In this 4th edition of Sustainable Apparel Forum, today at this venue, we will have opening and closing plenary with 4 panel discussions, 1 concurrent roundtable discussion, and 9 exciting presentations with the participation of expert speakers. Our main focus this year is on circularity, zero waste, and sustainability within the apparel industry. Even the branding material used for this event are sustainable. The material used, you can see that has been used on stage as well as other branding material are fabric rolls. Ladies and gentlemen, for the opening plenary event, we have the kind presence of our chief guest, Honorable Minister, Mr. Tipu Munshi MP, Ministry of Commerce, Government of the People's Republic of Bangladesh. Thank you very much, sir, for being here with us and gracing this occasion with your presence. Can we please have a round of applause for our chief guest? Thank you very much. We also have with us our guest of honor, His Excellency, Mr. Peter De Haas, Ambassador of U.S. Embassy in Bangladesh. We have with us His Excellency, Mr. Charles Whiteley, Ambassador and Head of Delegation of the European Union in Bangladesh. Mr. Farooq Hassan, President of BGMEA and Managing Director of Giant Group. Mr. Salim Rahman, Managing Director of KDS and Chairman of Al Arafa Islami Bank Limited. Mr. Ranjan Mahtani, Executive Chairman of Epic Group. And Ms. Noreen Chaudhry, Head of Labor Rights Program, Lotus Foundation. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our honored speakers on the dais with a round of applause. Requesting our speakers to please take their position on stage. Requesting our chief guest to make his way to the stage along with our other guest of honor and speakers. Thank you very much for taking your seats. Now I would like to request our first speaker of the session, our guest, Ms. Noreen Chaudhry, Head of Labor Rights Program, Lotus Foundation, to give her welcome speech. With a round of applause, please welcome Ms. Noreen Chaudhry.
Thank you, everyone. I think I'm the gender balancer on this eminent panel, so no pressure there. We've had the privilege to be part of Sustainable Apparel Forum, I think, since its infancy, and it's a matter of pride, both for the industry and the country, how much we've been able to represent the interests of the stakeholders, mainly the workers, the industry leaders, the donors, the brands. So it's become quite a global event, so it's a privilege to be here. In terms of context, like I said, my name's Noreen Chaudhry. I head the Labor Rights Program for Lotus Foundation, which used to be CNA Foundation. I think sitting here in this panel, it's a sense of full circle. First of all, I wanted to welcome Honorable Minister, Your Excellencies, Honorable President, industry leaders. I think it's a matter of privilege for me to say that I am part of the second generation of individuals who've grown up in this industry. Many of us here we've had our parents somehow involved in the industry, and I think the story of the apparel industry in Bangladesh is one of a development paradox. It's grown hand in hand and been catalytic of the success that Bangladesh has been able to achieve. But I think critical to this growth has been the millions of women and men workers who've built this industry, the industry leaders who've taken a chance on this, the supporters that we've had from global community. I think we're at a critical juncture, given the global crises that we see, be it climate breakdown, inequality, economic turbulence. I think we're at the crossroads where we can continue to invest and build on the development journey that Bangladesh is on through discussions and follow-on actions that we come up with today. The forum here is an opportunity for us to be part of Bangladesh's next chapter of its development journey. And I think we have the resources, the intellectual capacity, the knowledge within this room and within the industry stakeholders to actually translate our intentions, our aspirations into actions for the betterment of not just the industry, but the country as a whole. Thank you for giving me the time to speak here.
Thank you very much, Ms. Noreen Chaudhary. Now I would like to request Mr. Ranjan Mahathani, Executive Chairman of Epic Group, to give his speech.
Good morning, everybody. Honorable Minister, our foreign dignitaries, and all our guests, thank you for having me here today. I'm not a sustainability expert, but it's very close to my heart. So I'll speak to you from our experiences as an entrepreneur, as a businessman. And really, we talk about circular economy, and for us in our business, sustainability has become very close to our heart because it's circular. It comes back to us. We're a company that grows up every day. We learn every day, and I can remember 10 or 12 years ago, if my sustainability experts came to me and said they want solar power and et cetera, I said, who's going to make these big investments? And today we look at this very, very differently. As an entrepreneur, obviously you're running a business to be profitable, but what else is our responsibility? And from our company's standpoint, our two foremost responsibilities is people and environment. And whatever we can do, there is a lot to be done, and we cannot look at what has not been done or what the governments are not doing or doing. What is our personal responsibility in this area in creating a better environment and creating, similarly, a better working environment for our people? We realized during this journey of 10 years that everything actually comes back. If you give to your people and you have a happy workforce, you have a more efficient workforce. If you have more women's empowerment, if you have more female leaders in your company, ultimately it creates benefits for your company. If you are investing in solar power, I think it's now very easy discussion with gas hikes and electricity hikes, you're going to get paid back very fast. But there are many other forms of investment and sustainability. It must come from the heart. It must be the passion of the company. And I think that Bangladesh has embodied that with not only having close to 200 green factories, but having this great summit. Mr. Mustafi, thank you for arranging always these great events. And I think Bangladesh should always look towards the next step, because yesterday's best is not good enough today. We're going to have to be better than that tomorrow. And again, really, I think the audience that we have here today and so many people who are contributing to Bangladesh, whether they are funding companies or from the Apparel Sustainability Congress, I would like to say a big thank you to you, because you are creating a new Bangladesh. And without sustainability, I think Bangladesh would be incomplete. Once again, thank you for having me here today.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ranjan Mahathani. Now I'd like to request our guest, Mr. Salim Rahman, Managing Director of KDS and Chairman of Al Arafa Islami Bank Limited, to say a few words on this occasion.
Honorable Chief Guest, Mr. Tipu Munshi, Member of Parliament, Minister, Ministry of Commerce, His Excellency Mr. Peter Haas, Ambassador, U.S. Embassy in Bangladesh, His Excellency Mr. Charles Wesley, Ambassador and Head of Delegations, Delegation of the European Union in Bangladesh, Mr. Farooq Hassan, President BGMEA, Mr. Ranjan Mahathani, Executive Chairman, Epic Group, Ms. Noreen Chaudhary, Head of Labor Rights at Lord's Foundation. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is my pleasure to be here in this event which aims to spotlight on such an important issue that matters to all of us. Last couple of years, the entire world, as we faced a situation that we haven't witnessed before, the COVID-19 pandemic, a tiny virus that ran havoc, brought the whole entire world to a halt. However, we are yet to face a deadliest disaster that we never want to come across, impact of climate change that is threatening the whole world. Our planet is at risk of peril. Climate change impact knows no geographical boundary. The disaster will not spare anyone, no matter who emits carbon or not. And the most dangerous thing about it, there are no tools to combat it immediately. It can only be prevented. This is the reason why we have gathered here today, to find out ways to drive sustainability in the fashion industry. We are here to ensure that we grow in the manner that is sustainable and positively impact the economy, the lives of our people, and above all, to protect our planet from the peril and save it for our next generations to come. In business context, sustainability refers to more than just environmentalism. Harvard Business School lists two ways to measure sustainable business practices: the effect of business has on the environment and the effect of business has on society, with the goal of sustainable practice being to have a positive impact on at least one of those areas. This view of responsibility encourages businesses to balance long-term benefits with immediate returns and long-term and goal of pursuing inclusive and environmentally sound objectives. Sustainability is the balance between the environment, equity, and economy. Sustainability is not only about fulfilling social, ecological, and community obligations. It is also about how we remain economically viable through innovation, digitization, diversification, and being more productive. Most major markets across the Asia-Pacific region have established net zero targets and laid out various initiatives to move towards these goals. Take, for example, Singapore has pledged to be more selective on data centers it allows to be built on local shores. Its Green Plan 2030 have paved 10 years journey comprising several targets that can help achieve its goal of net zero emissions, including plans for solar energy to power 350,000 households a year. Japan Green Growth Strategy outlines a path towards carbon neutrality with plans to push green growth across 14 sectors in the country, including renewable energy sources, technologies such as carbon recycling. India's sustainability aspiration, including cutting the emission intensity of its GDP by 45% and achieving 50% cumulative electrical power capacity from non-fossil fuel-based energy resources by 2030. When we talk about sustainability, responsibility also comes to the forefront. In Bangladesh, RMG sector is seen as primary force behind sustainable development. This sector, which accounts for roughly 82% of exports and 9.25% of nation's GDP in fiscal year 2021-22, has a significant influence on socio-economic growth of the country. While as a supplier, we have been making efforts to make our production process cleaner, more energy efficient, and environment friendly, buyers also have responsibility to extend support to the suppliers in improving its social and environmental performances. Technology. It is no longer adequate for business to deploy IT system based on the highest return on investment or efficiency gain. IT infrastructure must now run with the smallest possible carbon footprint and minimum environmental impact to not only drive sustainability goals set out by enterprise, but also meet consumer and government mandate for sustainable innovations. Technology companies do have responsibilities too. We are living in the age where technology innovations are helping the industry to become more environment friendly. But technologies and machinery should be made affordable, especially for SMEs, so that all can avail them in order to make production process sustainable. Government have responsibilities too. When making regulatory reforms regarding due diligence, things should be considered to ensure parties that come under its purview can comply with them. Support should also be there. Financial institutions have responsibilities. We often notice SMEs do not have easy access to green fund due to stringent norms, but they are mostly in need of affordable finance support to make investment in sustainability. So affordable finance schemes should be kept in place to support SMEs adopting sustainable production process. Industry 4.0 has introduced big data, IoT, and artificial intelligence, which has digitally transformed many companies to become smart, efficient, and more profitable. Additionally, sustainability compliance has become crucial in contemporary global trade for companies to thrive internationally. It is imperative for Bangladesh RMG industry to become sustainable and smart to future-proof its growth. There is something else I would like to touch base upon, circularity. Circularity describes economic, technical, and environmental system that aims to eliminate waste, maximize, and reuse resources. Circular system make use of design, recycling, reuse, remanufacturing, refurbishment to create a closed-loop system based on the ideal of preserving virgin material, reducing waste creation, and maximizing waste reuse. Circularity principle provide an opportunity to reduce operational risk and increase the resilience of an enterprise through switching to renewable energy source and recycled material. It is estimated that over $1 trillion annually could be saved globally by 2025 when the adoption of circular economy practice. Circularity contributes to more sustainable world, but not all sustainability initiative contributes to circularity. Circularity focus on resource cycle, while sustainability is more broadly related to people, the planet, and economy. Circularity and sustainability stands in a long tradition of related vision, model, and theories. Finally, sustainability is not about integrating technologies and practices into production process. It is also about our attitude and behavior. When we take a sip from a small bottle of water and throw the rest of the bottle, it doesn't reflect sustainable behavior. What I'd like to say, that if we join our hands together, the goal that we all want to achieve is not very far away. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Salim Rahman. Now I'd like to request Mr. Farooq Hassan, President of BGMEA and Managing Director of Giant Group, to kindly say a few words on this occasion.
Mr. Tipu Munshi MP, Honorable Commerce Minister, Excellencies, representative from Brand Development Partner, distinguished presence, ladies and gentlemen. A very good morning to you all. First, I'd like to cordially thank the organizers, especially I want to appraise Mustafis for successfully running the previous 3 editions of Sustainable Apparel Forum and for organizing this 4th one. I believe this platform will create a tremendous opportunity for all of us to enlighten ourselves, and we will gather many fresh and informative views from the panel discussion presentation, and interaction. As far as the sustainability is concerned, it sits at the top of our agenda in BGMA and in the sector at large. And our strides towards sustainability, particularly the environmental and social sustainability in past decade, testify this fact. We have ensured 100% safety in terms of fire, structural, and electrical remediation within the workplace, which has restored global confidence in us. We have taken a number of initiatives to ensure the better well-being of our workers. While safety at work and well-being is a supreme consideration for us, we are working to ensure their education. Around 100 female workers from this industry enroll in Asian Women University with the support of their respective factories. We have planned to increase this number to 500 within the next few years. We haven't only limited ourselves within social territory, but also have taken further steps to make the industry greener and cleaner, which proves our commitment and dedication towards a more resilient, sustainable, and better industry. We have now the highest number of LEED green factories. We have 53 out of world top 100 green factories in Bangladesh. Moreover, another almost 550 factories are in the pipeline for getting certification. And for the first time ever, for any association, BGME won the USGBC Leadership Prize in 2021 as well. As the apex association of the garment industry in Bangladesh, BGME has realigned its vision with ESG priorities. To expedite the green revolution, we have taken a series of initiatives under its Sustainability Vision 2030. From the inception of the garment industry in Bangladesh in the early 80s, the business have followed a linear model of cradle to grave. The current trajectory needs to change, and we want to create a sustainable future, and one of the key strategies to do so is through resource decoupling. The circular economy can build a pathway for green environmental sustainability cope with economic growth. The concept of a circular promotes a regenerative, restorative, and sustainable economic model. While we move towards a circular economy, the skill and effectiveness of our industries have to continue to improve to the competitive in the global marketplace. Since this is a relatively new topic, not much is known about yet, we need to raise awareness amongst ourselves regarding this topic, which will eventually help us to understand the global value chain and develop market-based solutions for promoting of sustainable production and consumption. Ensuring the sustainable business environment is now one of the major priorities of today's fashion world. In past few years, a number of due diligence have come up, particularly the EU is going to adopt a new due diligence guidance which push forward with rules of mandatory human rights and environmental due diligence. Yes, regulation is necessary, but we do not want to duplicate the approach. We do not want country-specific or trading block-specific legislation. We want such legislation which is accepted by all the players in the global fashion industry. So basically, we want convergence in due diligence of different countries. We want level playing field across the supply chain as well. At the same time, the fashion industry needs to agree on a globally standardized approach to purchasing practice and a due diligence. Otherwise, it will become too difficult for the suppliers to comply with the 1,000 different structures. The policy makers in both suppliers and consumer side should encourage more socially inclusive business approach through policy and other support to smoothen the path towards responsible business. Since new due diligence are coming, we need to build our capacity to comply with those. While we talk about responsible business and sustainable trade, it should not be confined within the manufacturer's label, because manufacturers are a part of the supply chain, and every individual within the supply chain has their own role and responsibility. So a hand-holding approach is needed to ensure a sustainable business environment and all the due diligence within the total supply chain. The core mantra of sustainability, no one leaving behind. Our commitment is to take the RMG industry to the next level of sustainability, and we are looking comprehensively to all the possible areas of concern. As we are preparing for the next growth phase of our industry, we need to create a resilient business model where all the risks, plan, and innovation will be shared. Because in the past 2 years, during COVID, one thing we better learned, which is the importance of a resilient supply chain. So we need to put emphasis on build up a resilient and sustainable business model to overcome the future challenges. For that, we need more support from the advanced economy in terms of product and fiber diversification, innovation, technological upgradation, reskilling and upskilling our people. You may know that we have established PGMA Center of Innovation, Efficiency, and Occupational Safety and Health. The center will work as an exchange hub of industry-wide best practices at its endeavors to disseminate knowledge to beneficiary group continuously in the area of product development, efficiency, use of technologies, process upgradation, environmental sustainability, and social innovation. We need assistance from all of our stakeholders to make the center more vibrant and useful. So please come forward, collaborate, and exchange knowledge and expertise to ensure more decent employment and build a resilient and sustainable fashion industry. I sincerely hope that the 4th edition of Sustainable Apparel Forum will be a successful one through the active participation of all. Joy Bangla, may Bangladesh live forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Farooq Hassan. Now I'd like to request His Excellency, Mr. Charles Whiteley, Ambassador and Head of Delegation, Delegation of the European Union in Bangladesh, to give his speech.
Honourable Minister, Excellencies, distinguished panellists and attendees, Shubho Shokal and good morning. May I begin by paying tribute to the indefatigable Mostafiz Uddin, the founder and CEO of the Apparel Exchange, and all who made this 4th edition of the Sustainable Apparel Forum a reality. The Canadian philosopher Marshall McLuhan said, "There are no passengers on Spaceship Earth, we are all crew." Everyone has a responsibility to work for a sustainable planet, governments, industry, civil society, and individuals. Some facts and figures from Europe that hammer home the scale of this challenge. In Europe, we throw away over 11 kilograms of clothes per person per year, which is staggering. Textiles are the 5th largest source of carbon dioxide emissions linked to private consumption. About 3/4 of these emissions relating to European consumption take place outside the EU. Third, the production and handling of clothing, footwear, and household textiles sold in the EU uses 104 cubic meters of water per person per year. The textile and apparel sector is the beating heart of EU-Bangladesh trade relations. Exports to the European Union have risen from €3 billion in 2002 to €24 billion last year. The recipe for that success is evident. Everything but arms-powered market access and the hard work and dedication of the industry in Bangladesh and the brands that work with it. Now that recipe needs to evolve to meet the demands of a world that is grappling with new environmental, political, commercial, and consumer realities. First, the graduation of Bangladesh to developing country status and the transition to GSP+. This is undoubtedly engendering some uncertainty, which is never ideal for business. Some of that uncertainty will be lifted soon with the finalization of the new EU GSP regulation that will govern the EU's trading relations for 10 years from 2024. We need to intensify the work we are doing together, EU, government, business, and civil society, to ensure a smooth and certain transition. Second, Bangladesh must steal a march on its competitors by becoming a center of excellence for compliance and industrial innovation to meet the challenges of the green transition. There is every possibility that this can become a reality with outstanding examples already in place. The European Union is with you in that transformation. We continue to engage on the implementation of the National Action Plan for the Labour sector, and as Team Europe, with our member states, we are heavily investing in the decent work agenda. we're also poised to deliver hundreds of millions of euros in support to the generation of renewable energy in Bangladesh to help the country meet its goal of generating 40% of its energy needs from renewables by 2041. Our European Chamber of Commerce that will fully operationalise this year will assist business in navigating the admittedly prolific EU legislation that is on its way in areas such as due diligence and the circular economy. Third, concerns over fair prices and fair wages for workers must not be overlooked as compliance improves, whilst, of course, ensuring that Bangladesh remains competitive in a fierce global market. I would like to close with another quote, this time from the Anglo-Irish philosopher Edmund Burke. "Nobody made a greater mistake than he who did nothing because he could only do a little." We all need to do something to address the greatest challenge of our times. Little is certainly better than nothing, but with the energy and commitment on display at events like this one, doing a lot is also within our collective reach. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Now I'd like to request His Excellency, Mr. Peter D. Haas, Ambassador of U.S. Embassy in Bangladesh, to please give his speech.
Good morning, and it's a wonderful honor to be here today at this event that brings us all together to talk about such an important topic, the sustainability within the garment and apparel industry. I think all of you know, I don't need to tell you, that garments have been just an integral part of Bangladesh's incredible economic transformation over these past few decades. And the United States is pleased to be the largest destination for Bangladeshi garment exports. We're also proud to be the #1 investor in Bangladesh, with much of that investment being in the energy sector, which powers your factories. We look to continue to build those ties and to expand them. And we're also proud to work with all stakeholders, workers, factory owners, the government, and clothing brands to strengthen and sustain the sector. As previous speakers have made clear, sustainability as a topic has many different aspects: environmental, supply chains, recycling, energy usage. But I want to talk and focus my remarks on one specific aspect: the role of workers and labor as a part and a key part of moving towards greater sustainability. We applaud all of the efforts Bangladesh has made over the past decade to enact and to reform labor laws and safety laws, their regulations, their practices, and building of green factories. But we still remain concerned that too many workers across Bangladesh cannot exercise basic rights to freedom of association and collective bargaining. We're also concerned that workers in export processing zones have no access to these rights at all. And so we remain committed to supporting workers' rights worldwide, because we believe that an empowered workforce is also directly linked to sustainability. Sustainable economic growth in the garment sector and beyond must go hand in hand with strong labor rights, which include the rights of workers to form and join independent trade unions and collectively bargain for better working conditions. And workers also need to have remedies for labor violations. Labor law reforms, effective implementation, and enforcement are all required to ensure Bangladesh is ready for its transition to middle-income status in 2026. Obviously, to sustain the garment sector, Bangladesh and its partners will need to move up the value chain by exporting higher value-added products, which earn better prices for Bangladesh garment exports. And we believe that strong labor protections can help achieve these goals. So it's not just that we talk about worker protection in terms of safety, in terms of wages, in terms of childcare. It's also about giving workers a voice and making them a partner to you in coming up with solutions to the challenges that you face in terms of climate change, adaptation, and more stability. So we know that this is a slow progress, that this is something that is happening, and we think that it's a good thing. And that by doing it, that Bangladesh will have a stronger garment sector and greater exports. But these are really just exciting times in which technology, innovation, and a firm commitment to labor rights can push us to a future where everyone can thrive. And I think through our collective work together, through your own efforts, and through the interests of your consumers and your buyers, that we can make the Bangladesh garment sector more sustainable. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Now I'd like to request our chief guest, Honorable Minister, Mr. Tipu Munshi MP, Ministry of Commerce of Government of the People's Republic of Bangladesh, to please come up and say a few words on this occasion. Ladies and gentlemen, our chief guest, Honorable Minister, Mr. Tipu Munshi MP.
His Excellency, Ambassador, U.S. Embassy in Bangladesh, His Excellency Ambassador and Head of Delegation of the European Union of Bangladesh, President BGMEA and Managing Director of Giant Group, Farooq Hassan, Salim Rahman, Chairman of Al Araf Islami Bank. Okay, great. Naureen Chaudhary, I think Head of Labor Right Program, Lourdes. The last gentleman, Mr. Ranjan Mathani, is a very old friend of mine for the last 35 years. Old friendship, but he's not old, I can say. He's quite young. And a lot of dignitaries, business leaders, and honorable member of parliament, one of my best well-wisher, Mr. Savedesan Chaudhary, is in the front row. Assalamu alaikum. Good morning. Good morning to you all. Really, it's an honor for me to be here today in this esteemed audience at the 4th edition of the Sustainable Apparel Forum, SUF, hosted by the Bangladesh Apparel Exchange. Sorry. I begin by paying tribute to the father of the nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, who laid the foundation of our independence. Thanks to his vision and sacrifice, Bangladesh is now among the fastest growing economy in the world. I feel privileged to be a part of this forum, which aims to promote sustainability in the apparel industry, with over 50 speakers from 25 countries sharing their insight throughout this day, the day. I am confident that this event will contribute significantly to advancing Bangladesh apparel industry in a sustainable manner. In my view, there are two key factors that can foster sustainability in our apparel industry. Firstly, government policies can accelerate the transition from a waste-based economy to a renewable one. I'm pleased to note that under the leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, the government of Bangladesh extending full support to the industry in this regard. Secondly, collaboration is vital for achieving sustainability goals. While there are several initiatives underway, we can achieve even greater results by coordinating and collaborating. I invite all of you to join hands and work together towards a greener future for the apparel industry. I wish the Sustainable Apparel from Forum may success in achieving its goal. Let us commit ourselves to integrate sustainability in every aspect of Bangladesh apparel industry, making it a global leader in sustainable practices. I wish every success of this program. Thank you all. Jai Bangla, Jai Bangla.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Ladies and gentlemen, we have with us today Mr. Sabir Hossain Chaudhry, MP, Chairman, Parliament Standing Committee on Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. We also have with us Her Excellency, Ms. Alexandra Berg von Linde, Honorable Ambassador, Embassy of Sweden in Bangladesh. Thank you very much for being here with us today and gracing this occasion with your presence. Dear audience, before proceeding for the next agenda, we would like to share with you a special message from Mr. Polok Seth, Vice Chairman of PDS Limited, who could not join with us today in person, but sent his kind regards for this forum. Let's take a look at the video.
Distinguished ministers, diplomats and honorable guests from the apparel industry globally, I'm very pleased to get the kind invitation from Mustafa Zuddin to speak on this forum today. Unfortunately, I couldn't be there in person, but I'm connecting via a video call and trying to give you a message of PDS contribution to the whole sustainability journey in the fashion industry. PDS has a long history in Bangladesh. We set up our operation there almost now 22 years back, and I've been working from a small operation to being one of the most ethically sound and sustainable players in the Bangladesh garment industry. PDS is working as a company with close to 250 retailers and brands globally and around 600 factories around the world, procuring product in a sustainable and ethical manner. So we do it in few ways. PDS sets up a venture capital arm, right? The focus of the venture capital arm is to make sure that we are funding startups coming from the top universities around the world, like Stanford, Oxford, Cambridge, London School of Fashion, and also Imperial College. So bright young people from these top universities are coming with certain aspects of how to move the fashion industries forward, and PDS investing seed capital behind these young people, looking at things from a new lens and making sure that they come for sustainability solutions in the fashion industry. Then on the sustainability journey, there are two things we are doing. We see what goods going into our retail customer stores come from a sustainable source, but once the goods leave the stores, how they don't end up in the landfill and become part of the circular economy. So on the first bit, how goods going into store come from a sustainable source, PDS has set up companies like Positive Material and a lot of investments where basically we look at new fabric technology, new dyeing and finishing technology, and also manufacturing technology that are going to be completely sustainable. So this is a very important aspect, how we reduce the carbon footprint of goods, moving from the supply chain into stores in a more sustainable manner. And once goods leave the store, they should not end up in landfill and become part of the circular economy. So PDS Group, has backed Yellow Octopus for the last 10 years, and they're one of our PDS Group subsidiary companies. And through that, we have invested in many other businesses like Upcycle Labs, which ensure that when goods leave the store, they don't become part of the landfill and are upcycled to become either new material or other items that do not end up in landfill but completely make our industry circular. PDS Group has partnered with a global fashion fund based out of Amsterdam, and we are one of the first investments in Bangladesh. PDS also is making sure that the way we are moving forward as an industry, we are representing some of the largest retailers and brands in some of the key sourcing markets. So one of the reasons these big brands put the trust and confidence on PDS is because of our ESG agenda. They respect the way we operate in every country. They believe that PDS can manage risk and reputation even better than sometimes they can in the key markets we operate because of our governance standards and our financial stability. So we are a key partner to some of the largest retailers around the world, setting up sourcing operation for them in a sourcing as a service model in some of the key locations where we operate. So PDS commitment to sustainable fashion is there for last many years. We are very honored that a person like Mustafa Zuddin, based in Bangladesh, and the Bangladesh Apparel Forum are working in partnership with us, to move the whole global fashion agenda forward. We see how Mustafa is trying to bring all stakeholders together, and we are very grateful to be part of his journey and work together to make the fashion industry more sustainable in the future. So thank you for your time. It is great to connect with you all virtually this time, but hopefully in the future in person. All the best. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the economy of Bangladesh is growing rapidly. In this land of vast opportunity for businesses and entrepreneurs, there is also a growing need for making businesses circular. However, becoming circular requires a lot more than just aspiration. It requires a proper plan, knowledge sharing, and collaboration among cross-sectoral key stakeholders. That's why, to explore the prospects of a circular transition in Bangladeshi industries, we are pleased to announce two incredible upcoming events: the Bangladesh Circular Economy Summit and the Bangladesh Circular Apparel and Textile Forum, both commencing on June 15th of 2023, right here at the Radisson Blu Water Garden. The first event of their kind focused entirely on building a circular economy in Bangladesh. At the Bangladesh Circular Economy Summit, we will delve deeper into understanding the circular business models and their applicability in the diverse industries of Bangladesh. And the Bangladesh Circular Apparel and Textile Summit, we will focus specifically on how circularity principles are being adopted in the RMG industry and inspiring further circular and sustainable growth of the apparel and textile industry. We invite all of you to attend both of these incredible events. We would now like to formally announce the event. I would like to request our chief guest to do the formal announcement. Can we please have Thank you very much. Requesting our chief guest along with the key guest of honors to please come up and press the switch in front. We can see on that side of the room. And with that, we formally announce the Bangladesh Circular Economy Summit and the Bangladesh Circular Apparel and Textile Forum to take place on June 15th, 2023.